Hello everybody. I don't know how long we're going to manage to stream today. The reason I wasn't on yesterday is I've got a bit of a weird numbness in the back of my hand. So basically this area here is a bit numb, unusually so, I'm assuming, from prepping. Particularly on Monday I didn't do... Oh, I say I'm talking like you guys can all see this. There we go. Yeah, so hey, welcome to the stream. Don't know how long we're going to last today, as I was trying to say. I've got an unusual bit of numbness across the back of my hand. This section here is all associated with a single nerve, which I'm assuming during prep at some point I've just got it a little bit aggravated. So all the back of my hand here is a little numb. Fingers are all fine, everything works, does what it's supposed to do, but just trying to take it easy so that I don't make it a long-term issue. So we will try and do a little bit of prep, but we'll see how long I last. It may not be supremely long if everything is being very tedious, but we'll do our best anyway. I think everything's a little bit out of focus. Hopefully that will have just sharpened everything up a touch. I'm just working through some really scrappy bits in the box just to see what we've got. And so we've got a little Rhinoceros from Ravenscar, which will be probably the first thing we'll do, because I think if we can get the one of the tips in around it, these might just pop clean off. And then if this is all going well, I might have a look at this, which is a pseudo Rhinoceros multi-block that's just been looking at me a bit interestingly. The main one is this one here, but there's also another here. That's a little bit, well, I say a bit worn, it's very worn, so most of it's gone, but the center is that point there. There was another one there, which you can just see the edge of. There's another bit there. But what I would expect with this one, at least, is just to take it down and just see what this one is doing, because this is a lovely... Oh goodness, yeah, the... Huh. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Landfill. Apologies again, I don't know what the heck's going on. Huh. Yeah, sorry everyone. It is very scrappy today, which is crazy because my computer is telling me I'm doing 11 megabytes a second on the upload, but I'm chucking every couple of frames, so I'm not sure what the deal is. Alright, hopefully that's stabilized. I have not done absolutely anything at all to anything, just let it do its own thing for a little bit of time, and the stream has stabilized. Sorry Mr. Landfill, you are my tech guy and always highlighting my ongoing issues. Yeah, why I've just lost 4,000 frames in the first 5 minutes I am unsure, so my apologies again. Right. So hopefully you guys are all still with me. Hopefully you can tell what's going on. Hopefully you can see me holding a scrappy Rhinoceros, and hopefully you can see the other block that I have lined up if all goes to plan, and hopefully you've heard all about my hand. Yeah, I wish I knew why my connection was being so scrappy, particularly when it seems to be fine as far as everything else is concerned. I have changed absolutely nothing to any of the other days, but yeah, hopefully it is a lot better now. It seems to have stabilized, and I seem to be doing a 2 megabyte upload. It's stably. We shall see. No, I'm going to start prepping. If you see stuff, great. If you don't, well, sorry. We do not know how long this is going to last anyway. I'll see how long my hand is behaving itself. And then, yeah, we will just sort it all out. Yeah, thanks for that. So as I said, I think it's just a single nerve. Well, I know it's a single nerve just based on the area that's gone numb. It's just a section back here. It's all part of the superficial radial nerve that's just obviously got something going funny with it. If you look at where it runs, I think it's actually where my arm's coming into the box, and I'm just trapping it against the side, especially with a bit of vibration. It's just a little aggravated. It doesn't feel a problem. I can still, as I said, move all fingers. Everything is fine. It's just got a little bit of sort of tingly numbness on the back of the head. So yeah, we'll just take it a bit easier today. Do one or two, see how long we last. Probably only an hour or two, rather than sort of 3 hours. But yeah, we'll slowly ease back into it, and then depending on whether I'm on the coast tomorrow or Friday, or both, we will be back streaming, hopefully, on whichever day I'm not out. But yeah, we'll just have to play it by ear. just to show off what's going on. And so this is an old scrappy Paranoceros. When I picked it up, it was pretty scrappy in the first instance, but the middle looked alright, so I kept it. But as we're going, you'll see some of the scrappiest bits are falling and flaking away. Most of this side, as demonstrated there, just coming away. I'm not too worried. You can see out a whirl that I think will actually separate anyway. Still interested in just trying to keep the middle together. But it is scrappy. It is well water worn, so it may not be a happy little ammonite when we get to the middle. But so far, it's just prepping down fairly cleanly. So ideal for a day like today. And then so if the middle's all right, we'll then just knock this edge off and just keep it as a smaller little one in the middle. as Mr. Landfill says, I am paying attention to comments. No one ever tends to have them, but yeah, I am watching them, and Mr. Landfill is doing a fabulous job as my unofficial moderator, just keeping everything in check for me. Yeah, so everything's going generally pretty well with this. I think I have identified where I keep doing the stuff that's making my wrist sore, or my hand sore. So you can see here, all those lines is just where I've got obviously slightly too small a gap in my prep box where my wrist is pressing against the wood. I've got a couple of openings where my hands go, and I think that's just what's causing it. So I'm just trapping my wrist, and I think that's what's trapping the nerve. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that and just change how I'm sitting and prepping, and also look at maybe expanding the wrist openings so that I can get my hands in and out without trapping wrist and arm against the box, and then hopefully not having any issues with my hand after this. So I'd like to be doing an awful lot more prep. Yeah, so it's ticking along pretty nicely. Apologies, a lot of the prep is in underneath the light. I can adjust my angle a little bit, make sure that that's a bit tidier for you down here. But yeah, for the most part, it's a little Rhinoceros. It's creeping along slowly but surely. It is very, very worn, even internally. So a lot of the original shell layers are all a bit manky. And so most of this sort of almost shaly appearance stuff is actually the original shell layers. And so what we are working through is just slowly trying to actually take them off and see if we can get to the nice pyrite underneath. And there's some lovely bits of pyrite in underneath it, and so the ribbing and the pyrite's clean, but you just got to get underneath all of the outer shell that's not so clean. I suspect that this one is one of those that if you were to give it another year or two, even out of the water, is a good chance it may catch pyrite rot and start falling apart under its own breakdown of the iron pyrite. But we'll see what we can do, and hopefully with all of the outer layer off, it will at least slow it down. So, yeah, so apologies if you're not seeing an awful lot of the prep itself. It's a bit of a challenge with small things needing the magnification, which is what this light is at the bottom of the screen. It's a lovely ring light. Hang on, let's see if I can get my other camera up and I can show you what my current setup is. So yeah, I'm set up like this. So I've got my prep box and it's coming through a couple of openings, so one there, one over here. I've got magnification, which is that ring light, which is what you're then seeing, and then down into the prep box itself. And so yeah, that's how I'm set up, and it's you know, what you're seeing from the other side of things is that ring light just reflecting off the glass. So the glass is helping both protect me from bits coming off, but also helping me stay safe from the dust. I've got an extraction system pulling all the air out and through. But yeah, the downside of how it's set up at the minute is I've got the armholes possibly slightly too far apart for when I'm working on really small things, so I'm having to press against it. I think that's what's causing the numbness. But yes, it is going all right, and hopefully we can keep going. Get all the way down to a middle, we hope. Yeah, so we've got a few new tunes amongst the music. So we had on Monday our classical music with truly classical music from Beethoven and Mozart and all of those. And then this one I've added a bunch of other songs too that are all kind of chill, jazzy. Who knows what to call a lot of this stuff. Different, all freebies, compliments of YouTube. Although they all, or some of them, request that you appropriately name them, which is why we've got the little thing in the bottom showing what's playing presently. I don't make any pretense about being songs of choice, but it's non-lyrical music that just exists in the background. I actually don't hear any of it whilst I'm prepping. All I get is the extractor sounds, so it's all for you. New age, probably a good descriptor for a lot of it, but all hopefully fairly chill. Yeah, whatever we would like to call it, I let you guys decide if you have preferred names for this style of music. It's a bit of everything. But yeah, I just let it go. If you've got preferences for other types of music, we can slowly start building different day playlists. So wouldn't be upset if we have sort of even if it's like a poppy style day one day, rock on another, classical on another, and then just something for everybody. But until then, what we got is this. So I hope it's okay. I just had a little chuckle to myself when I saw how size the M&I is relative to the one on the prep background. Yeah. So a couple of things have popped up. Tours go up to 200 at some undefined date yet, a little bit uncertain. Will depend a little bit on how many more people book, but probably the end of May. If you can't see, is it, Katie, because I've taken the ammonite off the bottom here and into the light, or is it because something has happened with the camera setup, because everything looks to be fine from my side? The part of the reason I'm really just struggling to get good magnification on the little tiny bit in the middle, and it's being very, very fiddly. So it's ugly prep work at the minute, and it's tiny stuff. We're playing with like sub-mil bits, and I'm just trying to see. So no, apologies. Katie does prep, she knows that how it goes. But yeah, I've been trying to figure out the best way to do this, because I'll even show you, as part of prepping, tried to see if I could do this so that you could at least get the magnification out of the way and out of the light, and then I could prep using just the magnification. But unfortunately, I can't get it into a position that I can prep with just the head magnification without the one in the eye, and so I do need to have a look at how best to prep. It is an ongoing frustration for me, and I have no doubts for you. It might be that part of the solution is that just for some of these bits you get the view of me or of the box or something, so you get a slightly different angle on it like this instead, just whilst I am working away. So you just have to assume that I'm doing stuff. Obviously lots and lots of light coming in at the minute. So yeah, this is the other option, is that when you can't see stuff, it is an ongoing challenge. I don't have a good solution. I can't figure out how to get it into a position I can prep and that you guys can see with the current setup with the light. So yeah, unfortunately you're just having to do it. As for lining the side of the box with LEDs, you might notice, when we get that out the way, there's LEDs all the way around. There's also a bigger one at the back providing extra light. So yeah, we do have just a challenge. The other option that I did have for a while when I first started streaming was this camera was aimed down, which also does work, but then it does just depend on where I can get the light with the magnification, and there's generally just a challenge to do it because I don't have enough hands and enough eyes to be able to do all of the things at once, unfortunately. But I can see, I'm just trying to see if there's a way to get it into a position that I can prep and that you guys can see. And also then having a dog barking in the background. We can try this for a second and see how it goes. Sadly, it doesn't work for me trying to prep with the camera. It is an ongoing decision, and so yeah, that's part of why I've got a second camera. I do probably need to just have a third camera or one on a different angle to just show what I'm doing even when you can't see with the main camera because of magnification. But apologies. Yeah, so if you are just watching and all you can see is me with this in the light, it will come back. It comes through as I stop doing the little minute stuff. The little minute stuff, however, is also being very frustrating, and I don't pretend this is good prep with a minute in the middle. It's a Labrador. She is busy telling, I think, a neighbor to go away. What's up, puppy dog? Let's see if she'll do a little cameo for me. Hey, puppy dog. This will be the bit that gets more views than anything else. It's the doggo. Although I admit with the light she's very blown out. She's a white or yellowish lab. But yeah, obviously with the darkness to the light, it's not going away. But yeah. So. Right. I may just have to call it time on that one. I am struggling with the magnification, and obviously it's causing a bit of a problem for the stream, so it's not a problem. It's for those of you who care, it's not that big a deal. It's not a very exciting PalaeoTech. The middle I have not done a great job with already. It will have a little look and see if I can finish it up, but there's an awful lot of dings in the middle. So not the end of the world, but things are not feeling too numb, so I will have a quick look and see if we can get a chisel tip out and see if we can expose this thing. I can also then move this light out the way because I don't need it for this initial bit, but we'll have a look see, because for those who don't know, Ravenscar produces an awful lot of like multi-shelly blocks. This is one of the types that you get at Ravenscar. There's normally ones that are like this that are full of Gramoceros, and then you get these which are the pseudo multi-blocks, and I had a good run where I found an awful lot of them. So we've got one here that is the one that I'm looking to have a expose of. I believe it wraps all the way around to there's a bit of suture just visible here, and then there's another that was here which I'm expecting to fall apart as we prep this top bit off. There is this one here which is mostly eroded away, but this is the middle here. I'm not going to worry too much if we damage or destroy it in the preparation. There is this here which I think may be another, but how much of it is left I am unsure. That was one there. these sections that look a little bit like a number 8, these are all ammonites, or at least small pieces of the ammonite, so you can see it, they're absolutely packed through. There is the potential for there to be one here, which I might explore. That might be okay. And then, yeah, obviously these are all ammonites, or sections through ammonites, all the way around. So we'll have a look what looks doable, but I don't want to basically ruin the one by chasing the others. So that's the goal, is this one. And then we shall see. For those of you who are interested in what the blocks look like, there's a couple of videos on the channel already. There's a before and after that shows off my best block by a country mile of them. That's got something like 20 of them, would be a guess. Maybe not quite that many, but somewhere around there. That Sean prepped. I've shown off a couple in the intros of the last couple of videos that I've been working on. There's only got 1 or 2 in them, and then if you're really keen, there's a couple on the website, which are the ones that I have been prepping, that have both got 2 of these pseudo Lioceras, both bulbients, because they're from Ravenscar and they're of that height, that stratigraphic level. So that's what these all are, the pseudo Lioceras bulbients. And you do find other bits amongst them. You do sometimes get grammos in with them. You get, very luckily or rarely, some of the particularly rare Lithoceras species in here as well. And we might find other bits and pieces, but my suspicion is this one will be pseudo all the way through. And so, yeah, enough yapping. Let's have a look at prepping. Hi, Farcon. Thank you for the kind comments. She is a beautiful dog. She keeps me very happy when I am the lone one in the house because my wife's off working and doing things to earn all the big bucks. But yeah, just to show you how packed through these blocks are if you get lucky with them. So there's one here which actually looks alright, sadly worn, but middle is underneath that little bit. There's this one here which we knew was here, but it's sitting right on top of the other one. So I suspect it's gonna get sacrificed, but I mean, it's probably not terrible. The middle is there, but most of it is broken and worn, so yeah, it'll get sacrificed, I think, for the greater good. This one here we might try and just keep as is, just because it is nice. Some of the others we'll keep an eye on as we go, because you never know how many you will find. But that's 3 within what, 4 centimeters. These blocks are fun, but they are hard work because everywhere you go you bump into another ammonite. Kind of like the Dremel blocks. you can all join in my deliberations. So hopefully you can see. This is the one that we were chasing in the first instance that looks pretty good shape. This one here, which was the scrappy one, has managed to very nicely keep its middle and is sitting beautifully on top of the other. However, it is very much in the way. So the decision is whether or not we try and keep it, because it looks quite nice to be sitting there, even if we obliterate the outer wall and just try and keep the little center, or not. That is the question. The other one on top looks alright. And then we've got this one here, which is the partial, which I think it can exist whilst it's not in the way. This one here, honestly, is more likely to get in the way of this, because we'll need to prep down probably a much cleaner surface. It's part of the deliberation I'm currently having. Which ammonites get to stay and which have to go. And I don't like destroying ammonites that I don't need to, but if we want to see this one, we're definitely going to need to destroy something. Just what do we benefit from keeping most? The answer is probably this one will be the one that looks best. Even though it's just a little one, a bit scrappy, it probably needs a lot of gluing to keep it held in place. Whereas I think we could probably sacrifice these ones and then make this block, sort of, if we imagine it like that, and just cut it across there. So it means the one that's on the angle here has to go away to then flush this. Yeah, that's the decision. Feel free to chuck your opinions in there, because yours may vary and you may have a better idea than I. And also you might find that if we do say get rid of this one, there may be others underneath here that we run into as we go. So it's not this is the only one that's going to be there. You can see how many there are through it. Definitely lots of little ones. Well, I say that's kind of how I work the MSM. I try and keep as many of them intact as I can, because my background, I find it really difficult to destroy fossils. I get there's plenty of reasons to destroy a fossil. There's scientific reasons, particularly if you're trying to do things like thin sectioning. There's plenty of reasons to do it, but I find it very difficult to destroy one just for the sake of trying to make something pretty, and that is something I need to do, and there is no way around that. So yeah, I mean, when you say best suited, I know I need to get to this ammonite. The problem is this one is underneath 3, so it's which ones get sacrificed, and I don't think there's a way that we can just say we'll keep all 3 until we get there, because we're going to end up removing all the matrix all the way around this one here pretty much, and then we'll end up with this one in that section, and if we're trying to protect this one, we'll have to dig around and we'll get this one out. It's basically one of them is going to get dinged or become unstable as I remove the matrix for the others. So it's potentially just trying to preempt that and go, what is the best to just remove now to give us the best odds of keeping the other ones. And we may yet still get it wrong. I think it's this one here that's the one that should go, just because it's at the wrong angle. And then glue this one a little bit to get it secure. A lot of this matrix underneath will come away, but I don't want it to come away until I'm ready to. And then hopefully it'll be like a nice little sample with one there, the little one there just sitting, and then possibly the partial here, and then this can be removed down, and then if we find any more, then Can they be removed intact? No. Well, yes or no. So, I mean, intact is a bit loose here. This one's already broken. You can see this edge here is all worn away anyway. So it's not like it's going to make it any better. Not really. So it also is probably worth pointing out that I'm having a dilemma over an ammonite that there are at least 6 of them in this block. I have multiple blocks like this, so there's a level of rarity that these are not super rare. I don't think it's the end of the world if we destroy one just for this. If we wanted to try and rescue one intact, I actually think it'd be the middle of this one that we try and keep intact, but we're playing with, as you can see, like fingernail sized one. It's not like it's going to win any awards. It's not like it's particularly rare. We could try and rescue this one, but as I said, this one's already pre-worn just on the surface of the block. This one is already worn and is missing, all except for the middle. The middle is in that little circle there. So none of them are going to win any prizes for rarity. None of them are so important that they need to be saved. None of them are that complete that I think we could get them out whole and be happy with them. They are all sacrificable in my mind. It's just I struggle to sacrifice. But yeah, you guys all get to have a little vision into what my brain is doing, and you can all have your opinions, and it's good to have them so you can see what I'm thinking about while I'm doing this. But yeah, let me just see if I can quickly find one of the other blocks that's like it and why I am not too concerned about, say, an individual one in this block. So I just reached into the box, and for example, here's the next block along I found. So again, another Shelly block. This is another one of the same ammonites. There's a pseudo there, and you'll find that there's more all the way through it. So yes, they're nice to keep. They're nice if we get them whole. The reason I kept this is because that one looked all right, and there's one there that looks okay. But again, it's the decision making is, if this was a Lithosaurus or something incredibly rare, then yeah, it's probably worth trying to save as many or all of it as possible. But yeah, it's one of the relatively common-ish ones when you get them like this. So it is a debate, and I know a lot of the preparators would laugh at me going, what the hell is this, even a dilemma for you, just destroy it and get on with it. But thought I'd let you all in on the thought process, and you'll also see why why I pause on certain things as me to making some decisions. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna make my decision. I'll preemptively do it. Destroy this one, or at least remove this one. If it comes out whole, or we can get most of it out, great, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to stick some super glue on this one at least to try and hold the matrix in place, because it's been on the surface. I think most of this matrix is a bit rotten, so I suspect this will all fall apart if we're not careful. So if we put some glue on that, at least to hold it in place whilst we're not working on it. And then yeah, we'll work down, probably remove most of this lump here, and then see what we've got left. This one may yet go to then get down to this, because I think this one's sitting atop this one still. But it might be interesting enough to keep it so that we have this one tucked underneath, and we can then see them all layered on top of each other. So yeah, we'll just have to see. There is probably a better answer. There's probably a better solution to it, but that's one that I have come to. You are all welcome to disagree and shout out alternative opinions if you have one, because in about 2 minutes time it's going to be all a very moot point, because we will not be able to undo what is about to be done. But glad it's all understandable, and Darrell, I'm glad you've enjoyed the explanation. It's an interesting one for me, and something that I am still coming to grips with as sort of the academic of what do you need to keep, and what is destroyable within sort of the need for keeping the fossil as good as possible. But my interest is no longer purely academic in both the literal sense and also the metaphorical sense. I am prepping these for hopefully ultimate sale, so I do need to have a look and think about what is best for the display purposes of these fossils. Yeah, so just put a bit of super glue in on the back of that one, so that should hopefully hold it all in place. We'll give it just a few seconds just to get some drying in. I might even turn the pen on just to blow some air across. If you saw me dry out one of the fossils the other day, you can use the air from the pens to just help blow additional air across them. Downside is if you've got a dusty cabinet, all you're then doing is blowing dusty air onto your glue, which does not help. But yeah, so that's what I'm just going to do and mute myself as it goes on. Sorry if my head's blocking view. It's something that we discussed earlier. Is I'm having a bit of a challenge trying to figure out what is the best thing. I am surprised my head is blocking the view of this, although that may well have been the magnification thing. So apologies if it is. Just curious which. I'm assuming you guys are all looking on the top-down view from above right now. Yeah, apologies if my head's blocking the view. I'm just trying to see. Oh, okay, yeah, right when I'm very in. Yeah, you've got top of my hair. I guess there's not a lot of solution short of, let me see if I can at least zoom out. There we go. Right, we'll try that. See if that makes life a little easier. Clearly not going to be a fabulous day for streaming, but it is an ongoing challenge on how best to show things, and unfortunately working with something, as you see, teeny tiny with an overhead shot. Yeah. Alright, well, let's try this and see if that works any better. Give us another shout if it's causing problems. Yeah, all getting a lovely insight into why not many people stream fossil preparation. The other option I've just thought of that we can do is we'll see if we can drop the camera so that it's closer to the glass. So at least that way my head shouldn't get into it. Let's try it like that as well. And then just But yeah, thanks for everyone just making comments. It's very useful. Streaming is incredibly challenging for people. I understand why most people stream video games. It makes life a lot easier. All you got to do is share your screen and a video camera of yourself. When you're trying to stream something that involves you looking down at a different angle to your camera, it gets a bit more challenging. Apologies, but also thank you. This little one we were talking about whether or not to remove it, is trying so desperately hard to save itself by basically popping clean out of the outer worlds. Unfortunately it did explode a touch just on the edge. We might just see if we can put the chisel all the way around it and just see if we can save it as a little tiny one. It's almost a shame because it's done such a good job of coming out cleanly, but yeah, it's just going to be in the way. yeah, so this shot's working for me. Just needed to obviously bring the camera a touch closer, so I'm glad that's working better. So yeah, as you might have seen, that little one did pop off, but this is why I'm not worried about it. It's not even thumbnail size. Teeny tiny pseudo bouvians. So that's nice. So then what we're working on is, you can hopefully see, this is the one that we knew didn't have all of it. That's worn. The sutures on it are lovely. This is the one we're after. This is the one that we'd like to keep. And then as I'm going down, typically it looks like there's actually a really big one running straight up and down. So that bit that I wanted to lop off anyway, it's looking like there's potentially a big one. It may just be a bivalve, but I need to tidy this up and take this one a bit slow, because yeah, potentially quite a big one, running completely the opposite direction to all the rest, which would be super annoying, but yeah, interesting if that's the case. So we'll work down and just try and clear at least this matrix in the middle and see what's what. I don't see how that could all be there, but you never know with a pseudo. They do whirl from fairly small to fairly big quite quickly, as you can see. So this little bit here on the opposite side is twice the thickness, so yeah, it's very possible that there's a just sneaking in there, but we'll see. Who would want an easy prep, eh? Yeah, Mr. Landfill, honestly, we do need an X-ray machine. Probably find out you couldn't see anything through it because it's all solid pirate anyway. But yeah, it's why there's increasingly large numbers of people doing research, and myself, I was included in this when I was doing pure research, who do a lot of research on fossil or digital fossils as we call them, but it's basically X-ray CT scans of the fossil, because that way we can leave the fossils all in the rock. So we could have kept all of the fossils where they were, and if we could see inside, then we've got all of them in a digital format, and then we don't need to worry about breaking, damaging, destroying any of the fossils just to get them out of the rock. So yeah, an X-ray machine would be very useful for preparation, but even better potentially would be a CT of the whole thing, and then we know just how many are in there. Don't have to worry about damaging or prepping any of the ones that we don't want in there, and just can leave the lot as is. you can also enjoy my trials and tribulations. So hopefully you can see this. This is shell, this is shell. They are not the shell of the same thing. There is the teeny tiniest bit of matrix between them. This was an ammonite that I blitzed through, and then this is the bigger one. So this is what I'm trying to just distinguish, and why it's taking it a little slow, is trying to just make sure I've got the right shell of the right thing that I'm slowly prepping through. And it's where these multi-blocks become really tedious, because obviously you've got the ammonites, you've also got a bunch of bivalves, little teeny tiny shells scattered through it, and who knows what else is in there that we haven't yet seen. This is that game of fun, but really annoying. So you might have seen me popping off bits of this shell off this one. It actually splits quite nicely along its cat's paw. So you get the little sections through the ammonite where it separates between the different chambers effectively. They're called cat's paws because it kind of, if you really squint, look a little bit like a cat's paw, but it's basically where each of the different chambers connects together along the suture lines. And so that one thankfully is breaking apart along its suture line, but it's also just holding it in place. But then sitting directly behind it was another one, which I had seen just enough of the shell to know that it was there, and I've dinged most of the outer shell, but so I've removed that now, but the center is right there. Yeah, it's making itself fun but overly challenging because there's too many ammonites, which is I know an odd thing to complain about, but too many. And I haven't even figured out what the hell's going on with this bit of shell, whatever this is. My guess is it's a big ammonite going through it the other way, but if that's the case, and yeah, I don't know how we're ever going to see it. So we'll keep tidying into the middle. Might have to just swap the tip out and see if we can do some really delicate stuff just to clear this off. Clean around this other one that we've just brought up. Try and remove this matrix down. So there's quite a bit, a little tidying to do. There you go. Hopefully you can see all those. So there's that little tiny new one right there. It was a bit bigger, but I've chopped off the bits, and then I think this one will look quite nice sitting there, depending on how we can leave it with either its own shell or just sitting on some matrix above the other one. But it's going to depend an awful lot on how we can prep out that one underneath. Just swapping over the tip to a much smaller 1.5mm tip instead of the 2mm chisel. We'll just adjust the pressure down a little bit as well. So, yeah, right to it. Yeah, very much like the opal cutting. It's which color bar do you go for, and sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes you'll get it wrong. Sometimes you'll find stuff that you didn't even realize was there. They at least have the luxury that you can shine the light into one of the color bars and see how far it goes through when the sand's not fully blocking it. But this way, you're just taking a bit of a guess based on what else you can see. I mean, there's obviously this central section is just rammed through with ammonites. We've got the big ones seem to be in this section here, but there's some bigger ones that go across sideways, and then all of these little eights and parts are all other small ammonites. So clearly it's rammed through with it. It's just, as you say, taking a bit of a pop and having a look, and then working with what we've got left. Sorry, just bear with me for 1 second. This, I know it's going to sound really stupid, but that little teeny tiny ammonite that we discovered underneath the other one, I just want to check what it is. Because, yeah, I mean, it just wasn't giving me pseudo vibes. I don't know, it's an odd thing to say looking at them, especially because it's in a block full of pseudos, but I was just making sure it's not a little lighter. I don't think it is, but I've been lucky with them before in a block where just like it doesn't look quite right, and so I was just keeping an eye out because it didn't look quite right. So I don't know how well we're going to be able to show this off, but just the whirling pattern of it just doesn't look quite right compared to, say, the middle of the one next to it. And I don't know if that's just because it's super clean, how it's split out, or as I said, if it is something different. So we'll just take it careful with it, because somebody dinged the crap out of the outermost whirl of it. We'll see if we can just tidy around it. But it's one of those that's just interesting enough. Yeah, I can't convince myself that it's not a little lighter. And I can't honestly tell you why, other than something about it's just giving me that vibe. And I'm going to have a look at that under much smaller and better magnification. And that might be the most ridiculously teeny tiny lighter, if it is one. Like, we're talking, I don't know, what can we even, like a fraction of my fingernail size. So yeah, sorry, I'm just going to pull it out of the box and have another look at it. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna bug me forevermore. I'm gonna have to just stop and have some photos and see if I can find an appropriate level of magnification on those sutures and just see if they look right. To me, they don't look. It doesn't look like a pseudo, which I don't know if it's because I'm looking for it. Maybe it is. Yeah, either way, I'm gonna have a little closer look. Let's see if we can do this for you all. I will apologize. This may be a shocking bit of footage, but we will see. Have a look, see, yeah. Alright, so we're on the magnification. I don't know if it's going to focus, I don't know what its focal length is. So it's that little teeny tiny one right in the middle. Now, if you can't tell if that's focused, my suspicion is probably not, for you guys at least. Yeah, like it's so small. It's not probably worth faffing about, but it is pretty, and it just doesn't give me pseudo vibes. And it's a shocking thing to have to say as a scientist that I've got vibes that I'm relying on for something just being right or not right. It's so small. I'm really struggling to tell the sutures apart, and that's part of its challenge. Oops, sorry, they can all get very motion sick. Also, put that camera back down. So yeah, that's what. You can try the other camera through. So yeah, it's, I don't know. The problem is the middle of them all look different anyway. So the middle of pseudo looks a little different to the full-grown one, because obviously it's not deep-bodied in the same way as it gets bigger. But it just, yeah, I'm really annoyed, Katie, that I obliterated. There was a bit more of the whirl, and it was tucked in underneath this other one, and I didn't see it. Went donk. Oh, thank you. I'm glad someone's paying attention. It's clearly not me. But yeah. Yeah, I'm really annoyed that I donked the outer world, because that would have given a better answer. But it was tucked in underneath this one here. So yeah, we'll have to see. This one might just have to go off to someone to have another look at, because yeah, it might be a lito. It might just be the middle part of a pseudo that's just quite nice, but it's in a nice looking block, so I'm hopeful that this whole block will be interesting, whether or not that is a lito. But yeah, that I think is where I'm going to have to stop prepping it, because it deserves a proper look at, and someone who is far more skilled than I to have a look at it, just to sanity check it. Because yeah, from this level there are a couple of pretty rare litos from Raven's car. So you start playing with the Perilitoceras and the Alicholitoceras, which there's handfuls of anyone's got, like, in the entire coast. There's are like 5 or 10 of them each. Sean's prepping one at the minute that I'm hopeful will come out. Yeah, some of these have, I love pseudo sutures, they are beautiful. Those are lovely. There's some really nice ones on the original one that we were chasing. The cat's paw of this one's actually come out really nicely. The little one actually has some nice sutures as well. They're just really teeny tiny. So yeah, it's a nice block. I like pseudos. I like pseudo multi-blocks. They are a pain in the ass to prep, as you're seeing, because they don't come in one thing. Like, we could play the game of, look, there's another one there, one there, and you would end up, there's one there, one there. You'd end up with probably 50 if you could find all the little ones in there. So yeah, just gonna have to put that one to a side and just get that finished by probably Sean and see what he can do with it. But it probably deserves a good looking at and see if that is more exciting. But yeah, if it's not, it's still a beautiful little pseudo. Not my technically soundest bit of preparation today, both from the computer tech side and my actual prepping. But it is good to have a play and see how the hand is holding up, which seems to be okay actually. But yeah, I think part of the problem is just how I'm prepping in the box. I've got the hand or the arm slots sufficiently far apart that it works really well when so yeah. So yeah, they're at fixed size. So the downside is if you're trying to reach something in here in the middle, you end up getting your arms kind of wedged in against the box here, and I think that's what I've been doing to myself. And so you can see my wrist, it's got a bunch of little lines on it, and that's, I think, trapping the nerve and just giving me that little tingling sensation in the back of my hand. So I think that's my problem. I think the easy solution is we'll just enlarge these on both sides, just so that that tiny detailed work, which always ends up bringing my hands into the middle and under the microscope or under the magnification, I don't get my hands trapped. We'll then have to get some sort of guard to try and keep the dust from coming back out at me. But if it becomes an issue, we'll just put on the dust mask. Yeah. Apologies, it's, as I said, not been a fabulous stream. It's how it goes sometimes. So yeah, it was never meant to be a long stream. We still managed to do 2 hours. And yeah, there's a few more bits done, but yeah, it's an awful lot of stuff to go. I have so many of those multi-block pseudos that I would like to get through, and that's just here. Come along with me. Yeah, so this block in here, or this box in here, is all just stuff from Ravenscar, and there's an awful lot of these blocks, which are all these pseudo multis, and so this one again is a little one just there, other ones in there, and there's always a chance that there's a grandma or something else, and so yeah, there is an awful lot of prep for me to do already. There's another pseudo multi-block. Oh yeah, I remember this one because it had that beautiful little one just there. It had some lovely sutures on it, although it looks like it is falling apart in the box. So, but yeah, you can just see how dense they are when you get them. They're just absolutely everywhere. So, yeah, lots and lots of them to have a look at. Yeah, that's one box, and then there's another box down there, and another box there, and all the boxes over there, and lots and lots of things. So yeah, apologies when they're short streams. I'm glad you're all enjoying them still, and yeah, we've got lots to get through, and then that's just the started box. This is some of the ones we've done on stream, so that's the one that still needs a finish. That's the Paranoceros that we did on one side, and then the little tiny DAC on the other needs to be finished. There's this one that, as I showed everyone the Dremel block multi that is a battle on every front, because no matter which way you turn it, there's more. And so when people were asking about can you just prep around them, sometimes you end up with a block that looks like that, and yeah, it's just a challenge, and one that's at pretty much the limit of all my pens, because I can't reach in to do stuff anymore around some of the matrix without bumping into another one. We've got lots and lots to work through, and there will be plenty of fossils and time to look at. And as I said, I'm hoping to be out later this week, be it tomorrow or maybe Friday. So I'm glad you're all enjoying. I'm glad it's still relaxing, even if it is not always fabulous to to watch as far as the preparation skills. But yeah, I'm going to go sort everything out in the house, get the little man from Childminders, and go hopefully have a play with the puppy, who you can just see over my shoulder in the garden. She's waiting for me to leave the shed and spend some time with her in the sunshine. So that's what we're going to go do. If I'm not out on the coast tomorrow, I'll be back on about the same sort of time, so 1 British standard summertime. So it's at 2 GMT. No, other way around, midday GMT. So thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone for your comments and helping try and tidy up the stream and the quality. I appreciate all the comments. I know there's things like head in the way and lighting and sound, and not switching cameras over, but we are all of what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks into streaming, so it will continue to improve, and we will keep tidying things up for all of you. So thanks everyone, and we'll catch you soon.